Acts chapter 6. Well, Acts 6 verse 7 records the amazing statement, when you understand the context, and a great many of the priests became obedient to the faith. I said that's amazing because it was the priests who were presented as those most against Jesus. Perhaps out of all the groups within Palestinian Jewish society, it was the priests most of all who felt most threatened by Jesus. After all, he was effectively teaching an end to the temple system. With himself as the true temple, he graphically foretold the destruction of their beloved temple system. And yet at least twice in his ministry, Jesus had cured lepers and urged them to go to the priests, offer what the law of Moses required when a leper was cleansed. And he did that, he said, so that those lepers might make a witness to the priests. He said, do this for a testimony unto the priests. So Jesus had the hopefulness to believe that even the priests might be converted one day after his death and resurrection. And that hope, you see, proved true here in Acts 6 verse 7. A great company of the priests were obedient to the faith of Jesus and got baptized. So you see here the power of the gospel, that even the hardest heart can be changed. The man who appears to have the most reason never to accept Jesus Christ, even he can accept Christ, because the message of the gospel which we preach is that powerful. But you see also the hopefulness of Jesus. And being a Christian means to have the mind of Christ. And he was hopeful, even for his worst enemies. We live in a generally hopeless world where people live for today because they've got very little hope for their medium or long-term future. And so they tend to be generally cynical and skeptical about people, judging people on what they look like at this moment. But Jesus had hope. Paul says that faith, hope, and love are linked. It was his love which led him to be hopeful. So to have faith, as it were, in the power of God's word to change people is all connected with loving them, in hoping, in believing. So we shouldn't look around us at society and consider them all hopeless. The power of the gospel is very great. Even those we might consider to have zero interest in the gospel, even they can respond, and they do respond. And we can therefore live life with the hopeful spirit which was in Jesus.